Hey guys, Dark Sea Pro here, and today I wanted to say that there is no issue fully with Marvel Rivals. And yes, as you saw in the title, yes, Marvel Rivals cannot really fix the triple support issue. I saw the video by one of my favorite Marvel Rivals YouTubers, well, that I, recently watched, usually to get a lot of information on, like, new characters and stuff. I don't fully know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to attempt to. But basically, just like him, a lot of people think that Marvel Rivals, like Guang Guang and them, are supposed to fix the triple support meta. And that can happen, like they can kind of help in it, but it's not a Guang Guang or a Marvel Rivals issue. In fact, the Marvel Rivals team can't really fix the triple support comp. And by the way, in case you're wondering, just so that you don't yell at me, I do play DPS, but I'm also a strategist main myself. This means that I can really flex as long as it's not to tank. I mean, I can try to play tank, but let's be real. If it's not Strange or, Penny, I'm probably cooked. I'm not gonna lie. So, with that being said, the reason why triple support comps are way more, I guess you could say, happening than any of the other comps, and why they take present and why Guang Guang can't really fix it, is because it's not a Rivals issue, it's a player issue. This is what I mean. I have played Spider-Man. You can see I clearly have Lord. I play Spider-Man a lot. Sometimes when my friend's not playing him, he's even a better Spider-Man than me. In fact, there's a lot of people who can Spider-Man than me. I just barely learned the Hydro combo. It took me way too long to figure that out. And even when I learned it, I still do the bread and butter combo that Spider-Man does. Tracer into his little, whatchamacallit. Basically doing this combo. And then doing maybe either a down slam or a punch in the air if I have time. That's usually the bread and butter combo that I do, which is, like the normal combo that Spider-Man can do at the beginning. But I can do the Hydro combo where you pull them up to the air and you just bully them. Now, just to be clear, I'm not the best Spider-Man. I'm not Day. I'm not Necros. And yes, I'm gonna glaze both of them because both of them are better Spider-Mans than me, and they're probably better Spider-Mans than some of you. And regardless of whether you think they're washed or not. And with that being said, I am also usually GM Diamond area. On PC, I am Celestial rank as a one-trick pony. And by the way, when I say one-trick, I one-trick all dive characters, mainly BP. BP is one of my favorite characters to play on PC because he's way easier to play than on console. I do play BP on console because, of course, why wouldn't I do that if I play him on PC? But just to be clear, and for any of you that say BP is bad, again, Celestial rank on PC, the supposed harder game or harder rank level, which I don't agree with, but maybe in like one above all areas. But yeah, I play BP, and even with like a team of dive, BP is still good in my opinion, depending on how you play him. And that's the issue, is I can run as a dive character on console and PC, get picks, and they will have 2 healers. This means that there's not enough peel is the issue. The issue is peeling. A lot of players will play Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight. That can help protect your healers, but most likely won't protect your healers. Meaning, if the enemy team is running Spider-Man, or me running I'm Spider-Man, and I see Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl, I'm going to kill them. It is just simply as that. Or the healers will heal them, and then I will have to beat on them. So that means, and Squirrel Girl has the aim of an Acorn, because usually any Squirrel Girl Lord or player can't aim, which is why they're on that character, and therefore they refuse to switch, or they're playing Moon Knight and have to rely on Unks, which means that me as Spider-Man, I'm going to go into your back line, hit a Tracer on your Susan, and I'm going to hit them with this. And then they are going to die just like that. And then now you're going to be down a healer. So then because you're down a healer, I'm going to beat on you. Or I'm going to run away, and then my team's going to then beat on you instead. Now, you see what I mean? So then what do you do in this case? Well, I'm dying. I know what to do. Instead of going Scarlet Witch, Namor, Iron Fist, or shoot, even Black Widow, who does have a CC button and chilling in my backline, or going Storm for AoE damage and protecting my backline and just waiting for that Spider-Man to come across, telling my healers and calming with them because y'all hate calming. Or going Wolverine and chilling in my backline, or Mr. Fantastic and chilling in my backline. There's a lot of characters who can chill in your backline. I mean, Daredevil can chill in his backline. I've seen a backline Daredevil where he never flanks, he never dives, he just sits in his backline all day, and you never touch his healers. And the funny thing is, a lot of people think, well, you shouldn't be doing that as Daredevil. And if you think that, you clearly can't play Daredevil. Because Daredevil absolutely can be a babysitter. And he would totally do that canonically. If you told Daredevil, hey bro, you need to protect Susan and Dagger, he would 100% be down for that. Now, the fact that people don't do this is what I mean. Because it's not a common occurrence to swap off the fucking Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight, who are trash, and to go for the backline defenders, whenever they have people who are going to beat their backline, then, that's why we get triple support. Because people will start dying, they'll and then they'll blame the support for their lack of backline awareness, and then they will, now you have triple support comps. This is usually how it goes, and you can't tell me that this is incorrect, because I have plenty of evidence where we will start dying, people will automatically blame supports for their own DPSing issue. In fact, one video explains it. A tank should not really be peeling for supports because they're in the front line. They're supposed to be creating space. You can't create space if you're going backwards. That's why I hate when tanks go backwards when I'm support, because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You should, in fact, if you're going backwards as a tank, you're not doing your job. That's how it is. If you're going backward, if you're not holding W as a tank, well, realistically, most of the time, if you're not holding W, you can hold back a little bit, but if you're not basically holding W 90% of the time, then you're not tanking. You're not doing a good job as tanking. In fact, if your POV is, if I'm looking at you and your POV is Strange is doing this, then yeah, you need to stop playing tank. Or that means your healers are not doing good. But usually at the same time, it's usually just a tank. Like if your health is not going up and you're at 10 HP for like 5 hours, then I understand going backwards. But if you're getting healed, like if you can see your healer's attempting to heal you and they're healing you currently and you're still backing up, then that's a bad tank. I've seen too many tanks do that, and it's an issue. I'm a support, but I can play Strange. I also play, like I said, I also play other characters like Penny, and I'm a offensive Penny. I will play Penny on offense and defense because that's how you can play a tank. That's how you're supposed to play a tank. Penny is not meant just for defense. She's not meant to just be only one-sided. You can play offensive Penny. You just have to not be a bitch. You know what I mean? You just gotta not be scared. Like, there's a reason that she has 750 health and they can do this. Look at my health. Look at it. You see that? That's 900. Go forward. Just go forward. Hit one of these buttons. And guess what? It still counts. You count as an extra web. You can literally, sometimes I'll even do this, because if you leave a snail trail, right, your healer, I'll even maybe put one in the back, right? Sometimes I'll do this, like if I don't have my little nest right here, I will put 2 webs in the back where my healers are usually going to be. They're going to get healed, they're going to heal and gain bonus health a little bit from standing here going, healing. And then I will be here in my web little spot, healing my own self, while also giving myself bonus health, and they'll be healing me. I will continuously do this, because then I can push up, web behind, while I'm doing my job of shooting and creating space, and I will now be basically healing my team as Penny. I will also be helping them back there, and I'm also creating space. You see what I mean? So but that's also a tank issue. But the other part of this is that a lot of people will play the worst characters for, you know, their comp, and then they will wonder why they're dying, and then they'll go, ah, well, you know what the issue is? It's not me going dive or me going Squirrel Girl or Moon Knight. It's me not getting enough healing. So you know what we need? More healing. And then that's the issue. We need to legalize, stop going, you know, heals when you start dying, and it just either swap heals or to swap DPS. This means that you should, if your character is not working and we're still dying, you should just be a different DPS. Like, if you see that you and Psylocke diving, if BP and Psylocke are on your team and it's not working out, stop being BP and Psylocke. It's not working. Diving is not working. That means that if you see that your healers are dying and your tanks are like not getting enough heals because the healers are dying, and they're pushing, their entire enemy team is pushing way more aggressively, then change your character. Go Bucky. Go Wanda. Basically, what the hint is basically all of you are Zazaing before Zaza. And granted, unlike her, there is no 40k on the line, but it's just like y'all are doing that before she even did that. Before they had the little issue of for the vibes, y'all are doing for the vibes consistently. In fact, like quite literally, most people will refuse to swap off their Moon Knight Squirrel Girl whenever we're getting dove in the back. And I'm like, why is your first instinct that when your healers are telling you they're getting dove to not just go an anti-dive instantaneously? Your instinct should be, if you see a message from your healer saying, hey, we're getting dove, is to be like, yep, right there. I'm right there. Right there. I'm right there. I got you. I'm in the back. I'm in the back now. I don't even care about trying to get damage. I'm in the back line. I'm protecting like one of you. You know, one of you should instantly like swap. It should be an instantaneous thing. It should be like, oh, we died. Okay, guys, it's time. I don't even play Scarlet Witch, but it's time. Time to go to this character. Hey, where? Hey, whoa! Why are you trying to get too close to my back line? Whoa, calm down. That should be you. That literally should be all DPS. It should be like, I don't care if you're on Spider-Man. I don't care if you're on BP. You should be instantly like, it didn't work. My backline's getting back. Got your ass. You know, you should be like that. It shouldn't be your tank who's playing Angela and Emma to be like, fine, I got you. Time to come back here. Like, no, it shouldn't be that. You can tanks. You can totally continue to do that, but it should not be up to the tank's job to come do that. As Penny, the best way to play Penny that I've seen is not for me to be doing this, to put the mines in the back line like that. That's actually bad. I've never seen that work for me. In fact, most of the time I'm using my Penny mines aggressively. I will not put it where I fully am. I'll put it like up there, be over here. So I'm canceling an area, right? I usually put in whatever the most popular location is. But that's like, you know, even if it's out in the open, because I will be over here doing, like I said, something like this, you know, one in the back, you know, to protect my back line, and I'll be doing this, because then I can shoot, you know, put mines in front of me as I'm shooting, right? I'm doing one of these numbers. And the thing about this
is gonna hurt.
Is because I'm doing things like that, right? This makes it to where I've canceled off an area, I'm healing myself. Yes, I could go in here, right? It does the same thing as if I was over there. But, like, and no, they don't stack. They unfortunately don't stack. As you can see, they don't stack. So, yeah, like, I will be doing my own webs below me because I know that will get destroyed because people can and will target that now. So, but if it's over there, you're less inclined to just destroy it because I'm not in it. I'm not really in it. So you're less inclined to destroy it. And even if you do, it doesn't matter because I have this. You see what I mean? So while you're dealing with that, I'm shooting you in the face. I have infinite ammo. I'm shooting you in the face. I'm webbing you up. You see what I mean? I'm doing my job. I'm shooting. I'm putting mines down. I'm shooting you. And my healers are going to be safely in the back. I might, and if they are getting a little bit dope, what I'll do is I'll instantly turn around, maybe do a little one of these, and then continue shooting forward. And then turn around, do a little one of these, and continue shooting forward. You know, that's all I really will be doing for you. Or I'll ping where my nest is and be like that. I'm like, yeah, go over there if you need to. Like, if you need to, go over there. But because it's still a popular location, and then I can create space. Because now if my healer's over here, I can just go like this. But you know what I mean? That's the most I will be doing as a tank. Unless, like, the only time you'll see me do extra service is if I'm like strange or something, and I see their strange start flying over. So I'm like, come here, come here, come here, come here. You know, now to block the ult, the incoming ult. You know, doing one of maybe even one of these numbers. But like, that's basically it. As a tank, you're not really supposed to be fully peeling for your backline because you're supposed to be creating space. And if you are gonna peel, then you need one person, only one tank to peel, and one tank needs to still kind of be like someone who can eat damage and block it and just stay up. They need to stay up so that you don't lose space because you're peeling for space. You know what I mean? Because then you're just giving up space, which means you're not doing your job as a tank just so you can go help your healers, which is why the DPS are supposed to be the ones peeling. I've gone to my backline as Spider-Man before, and keep in mind, I'm a strategist main, so I know how it is. You're supposed to, I have peeled for my backline, but at the same time, if I'm diving, I also can't fully peel for my backline. That means that you're not really supposed to go double dive, and if you do go double dive, then that means that basically you just got to understand you're probably not going to get enough healing unless you go back there. Now, there's times where I will go back to my backline if I need it instead of going for a health pack, and I'll be like,
hey, need some love over here.
And if I do this, if your diver comes to your backline after diving, then usually I will stop healing whoever it is, and I will heal them real quick, because they usually only have about 250 HP like Spider-Man. So then you should just, like, you tap them a little bit and you go back to what you were doing. It should take about 2 seconds. You know, you basically pit stop them, because they pit stopped to come get for healing. And as long as they don't be annoying and do this,
Need some love over here.
then you should be fine. Like, I hate when people do that, because usually I see it the first time. Like, you hear the voice line, I go to look where it's coming from, and I will heal them. Maybe twice is okay, like doing one of these, but if you're doing one of these and you're just spam pinging, then, like, you don't deserve healing. You don't. Let's be honest, you don't deserve healing if you're spam pinging. If you hit it like once or twice, you know, then, and your healers aren't looking, that's a little different. But let's be real, most of the time they are looking, and you just are impatient and you're lying. Because I've seen a lot of people say, well, it's because they're not looking at me. And I will look at the replay, and it's because they didn't look for a second. A second. Because maybe they're dying, or maybe someone else's, a tank is dying, and in which case, you know, it is a lot better to heal a tank, because a tank will actually sit there and get hit, versus a DPS, a dive DPS, who the instant they get low will go, you know, leave. And since as a DPS, even though you don't see a full health bar, you see how those little arrows above my allies' heads are yellow or red or whatever? You can see that means that they're low HP. That means that if I am a dive DPS and I dive to my backline to get healing, I will also look to see if my tanks have a yellow arrow above their head. If they have a yellow arrow above their head, I will go grab a health pack. That's what you should be doing. And, you know, a lot of people don't understand this. They're like, why are you not, like, you know, stopping to go heal me? Now, if they're blue health, then that means they're basically full, and then it's a healer issue. You see what I mean? And that's also another part of why triple support is a thing. It's because it's one of the easiest roles, which is why I think that, you know, there's a few healers that should be banned. Should be, like, basically disabled, in my opinion. And yes, I don't care if I have them lorded or I play them. These two horsemen right here. These two. Right here. Need to be removed or, like, banished to the Shadow Realm. I'm sick and tired of seeing this goddamn white woman right on my screen with this fuck raccoon. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, we need more of these people. We need more of these people. We need more of these people. We need even more of these people. Shoot, dare I say, we need more of this guy. Like, I would rather see a Jeff, as long as you're not DPSing. That's the other issues. People will play the character wrong. You should not just be shooting at DPS. In fact, what I do as Jeff, as a top 500 console Jeff, I will, and keep in mind, I'm top 500 Jeff on console, and I haven't even been in one above all. I haven't even been in one above all, but it literally says that, according to Rivals Rewind and many other things, I literally am one of the 99 percentiles for console strategists. This means out of all console players, I'm in the 99 percentile, and I was almost 99.9% for almost all seasons. The only season I was not getting that was for when I was Loki, unfortunately, and when I got point 3, which, and keep in mind, I play Jeff. There are people with support ults, and even before Jeff got his little circle you see there, and when it literally just was him doing his ult, I literally had a 99 percentile healing comparatively to people who heal bot and are cloak and daggers. I've also compared equally to cloak and daggers and other people. Granted, I still hate cloak and dagger. I hate going against them. I hate them being on my team. I just hate them in general. This character should be 1 star because of how many people play it. Granted, the reason why it's 3 stars because you can play them complexively. Now, people won't do this, and it's just a thing. It's just a fact. They won't do it this way, and it's sad. Now, just to be clear, though, I do want to say, though, is that, like, when I play Jeff, which a lot of people don't play Jeff this way because they play him incorrectly, is I will focus on key, especially since I can, you're healing, you want to heal with this button, is a lot of Jeffs will just go for damage, and I'm sick and tired of seeing that because that means they're giving us actually good Jeffs, us real Jeffs, bad reps. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to aim at a teammate, and if you happen to hit an enemy, then you hit an enemy. There's a reason why his water didn't used to do damage to the enemy team, and that's why. But granted, he used to also have infinite ammo on his L2 or his left click if you were on PC. So, granted, now that you can do damage with your water, which is awesome, in my opinion, it's awesome. But it's like, your primary objective should be healing your teammate and then happening to do damage. In fact, if you ever see a Jeff focusing on damage while people are dying, like that's not a Jeff main. That's not a Jeff main. I don't care if they have a badge. I don't care if they got animated icon. They are not a Jeff main. I don't have an animated icon and I'm a Jeff player. Keep that in mind. I mean, and granted, I'm very close, but I don't have an animated icon because, I play to win. And sometimes in order to play the way, you can't just play for damage. And you have to actually expertly, use your inputs and stuff correctly. In fact, on average, especially if I have a Venom, if I have the Venom team up with me, well, at least as of now, where you do basically Adam Warlock Soul Bond, I can easily out heal many of the other strategists on my team. And usually, now I can't out heal Luna for some reason, but I can out heal Cloak and Daggers and Susan with the Venom team up. I've done it many times. I've out healed even Rockets. And keep in mind, Rocket and Cloak and Dagger are the stat patterns. They are the stat patterns known to this game. If any Rocket or Cloak and Dagger tells you look at my stats, that's probably because they're trash. Not because their stats are trash, but because they themselves are trash. If you are Cloak and Dagger and you're saying this, you're trash. I'm telling you right now, you are trash at the game. You're not a real healer, and I'm better than you in any and every way on supports. Unless you're a Luna. Okay, now if you're a Luna Snow, but I have nothing to say to you. Keep doing your work. You're awesome. I wish I seen more of you, actually. Susan's, I dislike you. However, I can't lie. You are good at some of you are good at your jobs and better than me at my job. I'm absolute cinema hands. I'm put my hands up. Some of you students, man, are just way better. You are just better. I dislike you, but you are better. There's a reason why I play Reed because hey, some of you Susans, some of you, when the ones of you that aren't just using your double jump to be a bit and are using it to like push up to act, so you can get people, so you can heal more people, and aren't just DPSing as Susan, and are like super healers. Oh, like I wish I seen more of you. I know you guys exist. It's not super rare. But it is rare. Like I do see a lot of Susans who are cowards. They're like where the second they start getting injured, they shielding themselves instead of just asking for heals but from their fellow healer. They're just shielding themselves like selfishly and they're jumping away selfishly. Those Susans are not Susans. Those are the Susans that are basically cloak and dagger mains, probably. In disguise. So cloak and they probably have like animated icon cloak and dagger by now. Those are the Susans that are that. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's basically the four horsemen. Usually, if you're playing one of a few characters, then you're probably one of those horsemen. And it's Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl, and these two right here. So you got four, like I said, the four horsemen. You usually see, if you see one of these characters, these are the characters of like, I have probably no skill. I'm swapping to this character because I'm bad at the game. And so here you go. And I know some of you are like, well, then then they wouldn't be on the game if they were just trash. And that's not true. There's many games that will introduce trash characters and people still play them. Do you know how many people call Sakura trash in many Naruto games and people still play Sakura in those games? People call Tenten trash and they still play Tenten in a lot of those games. So I'm just saying that just because a character's trash does not mean that it's not going to be played, and it also doesn't mean people won't try to find an excuse of why they're not the fault. And you know what I mean? Like you can play good characters bad, but it just proved that a lot of what I had a lot of conversations with is that a lot of people can't aim. And the issue also of that is that's why, because people can't aim. So they don't want to play characters who require aim because they want to be lazy. And unfortunately, the four horsemen are the four horsemen of laziness. And you can't tell me otherwise because there is no other character who's in these categories who act like the four horsemen. The only one that's maybe close enough is Wanda, but at least with Wanda, one, this is opinionated. I think she's probably more attractive than the other three. And two, she's also technically able to anti-dive, which a lot of the other two can't do. I mean, whenever you looked at Squirrel Girl and said, yeah, she's going to stop me from diving, let me know when you've seen that. Moon Knight, it's a little possible. If he chills in the back line, saves an Ankh for you, he can just be like, yeah, hey, calm down. I don't want you around here. He just throws his Ankh at his back line, shoots at it real quick. You just going to stay away for a second. Or you're going to destroy it, and then you pop his back line. I've done that too. If you're not, BP literally cannot be antied by Moon Knight. It's not possible. Because he has AoE, so even if Moon Knight does throw an Ankh, unless he has perfect flawless aim, he's not hitting BP, so therefore that Ankh is not doing anything, and then he's not doing anything, you just got to watch his backline get destroyed. Now, if it's Spider-Man, a Moon Knight can possibly save his backline if it's Spider-Man, because Spider-Man doesn't do AoE, which makes him slightly worse than a lot of other divers. Like, Magic is not going to give a damn if you throw an Ankh in your backline or not. She has AoE a million. So, you know what I mean? Certain divers are just not going to care. Like Venom, if he's diving your backline, Cap, if he's diving your backline, he's not going to care. You see what I mean? But, so therefore, but you know who is going to stop all of them, regardless? No matter how fast you move as BP, if she holds this button, if you hold your click or you hold your R2, she is going to hit you. She's going to get you, she's going to suck you, and you're going to get dried like a raisin. You see what I mean? That's just the thing. And she can also just do one of these numbers, and their healers can kind of play in it, and that makes it slightly easier to catch the diver. It's slightly easier. It doesn't make it completely easier, but it does make it easier. Unlike Moon Knight, who, if he doesn't throw down that honk or have flawless aim, which, let's be real, if you're playing Moon Knight, you probably don't. Because if you did have flawless aim, you'd be on Hawkeye or Widow or, Hela or any sharpshooter and not, Moon Knight. So, yeah, let's be real. That means that therefore, if you're a Moon Knight, that means you probably know that you don't have the best aim, which means that unlike, we're going to have to take that flawless aim out of consideration, then with Wanda, you at least, you don't need to aim. And on top of that, it's basically impossible to dodge her if she sees you. She catches you lacking, she gonna catch you smacking, She gonna get to smacking. Like, you see what I mean? So therefore, she can actually stop you. Therefore, granted, even though she doesn't take skill, which is why she's 1 star, she can actually defend her backline. You see what I mean? So when I see Wanda players, even though I also think that if you ever say you use skill and you're on this character, I will look at you with like a raised eyebrow. But it's slightly more okay for this character than these two lame characters. You know what I mean? And for some reason, whenever y'all can't get these two characters, which is why they get banned a lot, then y'all will go Widow for some reason. Or you'll go some random other character that you guys don't know how to play. And it's actually kind of angry, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And to be honest, if you guys are saying, oh well, why don't if Luna and like Susan and them are really just better than those two, the 2 horsemen you see here, then why don't people just play that? Well, one, I mean, I would play it. As you can see, my name is Please Be Luna Snow because I do have decent aim, but I don't have the best aim because I also have to deal with drift. That's the thing, is I also have to deal with drift. As you can see, when you saw that, you see how my look, my hand's not even on the controller. My hand wasn't even on the controller there, and it was just it was moving. So I have to deal with that. Not only that, but as a fellow gooner, I also don't exactly have the patience to be looking at all that cakeness on my screen as I'm trying to heal people. Granted, there was a point in time where I just, was default skin, which is why I was, I got lowered on them, because once I didn't, got past the goon and was healing people, she literally has the best heals. And especially now that she can, convert damage and stuff into, healing, like she can she boosts her own damage and gains extra healing from when she's healing others. Look at that. So she heals more when she snowflakes herself and boosts her own damage. This means
What do I do for
that.
an encore?
You see that? And even if you don't headshot them, that's a triple. That means, and if they're a healer, you could literally kill them by snowflaking yourself and murdering them. And just shooting them with all your attacks.
Wow, 4 in a
Now,
row.
granted, it's a lot easier if you snowball them. And since you have a, snowball that moves at Mach now, like, look how fast that goes.
6 in a row. Way to go.
You see what I mean? Like, now the thing is, I will be using my healing. I'll heal people, and she has one of the best healing amounts in the game. Especially if you can either snowflake them, or you can snowflake yourself. But it doesn't matter, because, like, look at that.
See them? Right there.
Like, I can literally just do one of these numbers. She's basically like Susan. You can just keep people at full HP, as long as you never miss. Get it? Hawkeye style. In fact, I even told my friend, if the day they give Luna Snow auto aim, she's literally going to be better than Cloak and Dagger. That's the only reason why Cloak and Dagger has more playtime than Luna Snow.
Come to New York
And that's
sometime.
because of
I'll
the
do whatever
autoing,
to spite
the
you.
non-need, the skill, the lack of skill needed to play Dagger. And if you needed less skill to play Luna, most people would play Luna because she can just out-heal Dagger in every way, and she can do better than Dagger in every way. She's just better. She's just better. Literally, just to be clear, she is just better. And yes, I will stand on that bit. I will die on that hill. Luna Snow is better than Cloak and Dagger in every way. And I do mean every way. Looks, healing, all of it. The anti-dive, she's just better. She's simply put just better. It's just she requires skill, which unfortunately is not something that is required when you play Cloak and Dagger. An infant child can get on this game and probably play Cloak and Dagger before they could play Luna Snow. In fact, I'm pretty sure my dog can play Cloak and Dagger before they'll play Luna Snow. So, you know, like, that's also part of the issue. And that's also why I ban Cloak and Daggers and win games. I've had a lot of games where if I physically could just filter out all Cloak and Dagger mains for my team, if I could filter them out for my team, and then I could just not have them, then I'd win every game. I kid you not. The only time I've ever really lost a game is because a Cloak and Dagger one trick was on my team, and I banned Cloak and Dagger because, you know, either they were scrolling on TikTok so they weren't locked in, and then because I won't ban my teammate unless I'm with a teammate of my own. Like, if I'm with a friend, I might still ban Cloak and Dagger, you know, because we'll just double down. We'll both double down, you know, so you can't report both of us. But otherwise, I don't really. If I'm solo queuing, I do not ban my own teammate. We don't even ban our own teammate anyway. It's just usually Cloak and Dagger, and usually we do win when we don't have a Cloak and Dagger main. Like, if we have a person who mains Susan or Luna, we will win those games, even if they have the Avengers on the enemy team, because that's just how it is. If you remove Cloak and Dagger from 99% of the scenarios on console, we win. A lot of you guys, or girls, for some reason, can only play Cloak and Dagger. I've even said this. Cloak and Dagger seems to be a very lady-attended character. I don't know why, but at least on console, it feels like PlayStation console. I mean, it's the same thing. So
Sure, those are bad
yeah,
guys.
and I know it sounds sexist, but it's kind of funny at the same time because no offense, there are guys that will play Cloak and Dagger. But I think it's funny because, to my knowledge, most guys will play Susan. Even the zesty guys will play Susan. Like, the zesty ones for real will actually be on Susan mostly, I've noticed, than Cloak and Dagger. Or Rocket. They'll be on Rocket or Susan. But it's usually one of those two. And the ladies will be on the Cloak and Dagger. And I think that's kind of funny. I mean, granted, that might not fully be accurate, again. I just think it's funny because from my personal experience, I've played 20 games where I've had a Cloak and Dagger, and for some reason, about 98% of the time, this is not me joking, this is not me being exaggeratory. This is actually, like, for real, 98% of the time, for some reason, whenever we have beef, right? I'll have beef with a Cloak and Dagger, and I will yap about them because I'm not scared to calm, which a lot of you are. A lot of you are bitches and don't want to calm with your teammates, and I will calm either for fun or I will calm for strategy because this is a team-based game, and that's why triple support exists, because y'all don't like to calm and work together. In fact, everyone should have mics. They should. It's not like obviously there's a difference between being incapable of talking and not feeling like talking. It's just cowardly. Like, a lot of you have mics and just refuse to use them. And you're in a game, a high elo game, where you refuse to use that comm. You'll be getting dove, and you're like on the call saying, "Hey, Daredevil, there's a Daredevil on our back line." How hard is it to say that? And no, I'm not talking about you that turn on that voice changer. I hate all of you. If you have that voice changer on, you're lame. You're lame. Just talk normally. You don't need a voice changer. Like, just be you. Just be you. No one gives a f- if you're a woman. No one gives a damn if you're a guy. No one cares if you're a squeaker. Just talk normally. Golly, like, I'm sick and tired of voice changer people. I'm sick and tired of people that don't want to calm. I'm sick of it. Like, just get on the mic normally and be like, hey, there's a Daredevil in our backline. So that we can actually work together so that everyone can play the game at a higher elo where they should be. So, you know, like, it's a lot easier to have better games when you actually can work together. For some reason, which is why I've changed also to my name to Please Be Luna Snows, because for some reason, not only have I seen that more Lunas and Susans are willing to calm, but they're actually willing to work together. They're willing to unlike for some reason Cloak and Daggers, which is why I have beef with Cloak and Dagger, mainly Dagger. But then again, sometimes Cloak. It's not even because I will see Cloak when I'm dying, but it's like C and D for some reason. All of y'all just have beef with teamwork. Y'all think y'all are them. And I'm sick of it. Y'all are not them. There's a reason why you're on the easiest character. Because you can't be a good healer. You're so incapable of doing it that you with the easiest character in the game. She doesn't even have the best heals. She doesn't even have the best healing output. She has a good healing output. And she's a good stat pattern. But like, if you want to look like you're doing good, even if you're not, then yes, Cloak and Dagger is your game. But like, she doesn't even have the best healing output. Neither does Rocket. When I see people go Rocket and they wonder why we're still dying, it's because Rocket heals for 55 health a second. Shoot, Mantis, if you get headshots occasionally, can out-heal Rocket. Literally, Ultron. Oh, goddamn Ultron can out-heal Rocket. I don't know why people's obsession with going characters who can't really heal. Their healing output is terrible. Shoot, I've been able to almost out-heal Rockets as Adam. There was one time when I almost caught a Susan as Adam with a Rocket on my team. Keep in mind, we were a triple support comp as per usual. I was healer already, but as you know, and that's because they asked me to go Adam, and I was like, cool, I'll go Adam, I guess. You know, like, sure, if you want me to go the third healer, I'll go Rez. I'll play for Rez. And we had 26,000 healing to 25,000 healing to 24,000 healing. And in case you're wondering, the 26,000 healing person was Rocket Raccoon. The Susan was 24,000 healing. I had 25,000 healing. And the enemy team had roughly about 28,000 healing. And they had a dual support comp. So that means that they only had 2 healers, and they were able to out-heal all 3 of us. Which means that yes, we weren't taking them. We were taking less damage, at the same time taking more damage. But at the also at the same time, they were just taking damage too. So that means that we had a bunch of support ults, but that also means that I was basically keeping up with a stat pattern almost. And granted, of course, yeah, Adam is gonna have the most deaths because who's gonna really attack the raccoon over the big, the 6'2", perfect being. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people will just, they don't know how to put their neck on a swivel. Like, healers don't, they want to play it on easy mode because they're bad at the game, and I'm sick and tired of it. Like, I've not seen that many good healers who actually are, good healers. Like, I will see some, and I do have some. I still remember playing with a Mantis to this day. I will glaze. They are just simply they have to be a top 500 Mantis, and they never added me ever again. I will never see them. I haven't seen them since. Their name was God Mantis. I do remember that though. Their name was God Mantis. They literally had 4 leaves, basically consistently, and they out-healed me. And I'm not talking about with just ults, which a lot of Mantises will only out-heal me because they have a healing ult. No, I'm talking about this Mantis was damage boosting and heal using their healing leaves. And every time I spectated them, when I happened to get jumped, again, not their fault, happened to get jumped, I'd get like solo ulted and then jumped. And I would spectate them. This Mantis almost basically all have 4 leaves. And I would see them using it too, and they would just go for head dinks, go right back to leafing people. And I'm like, that Mantis is goated. That was a goated Mantis. That was a goated healer. I've seen Susans who like patty cake, they know when to patty cake. I've seen a Susan jump towards a Magneto ultimate and shield block it. She jumps toward it, used her shield on herself, and she blocked the mag ult from me getting hit in my face. I was like, damn. I was like, damn, that's a Susan right there. That is Susan the Storm. Okay, that's not Susan Storm. That's Susan the Storm. That's not the Susan Storm. That's Susan the Storm. Because that's just way better than most Susans. Susans forget they can shield themselves while jumping, and can go be aggressive to block the ults. They don't have to be the lame, scared little babies that run away at the slightest hint of danger. They forget that literally Susan's entire kit is meant to do literally everything. You can shield, you can tank, you can do damage, you can heal. That's literally her entire kit, and she's all of them. That's why she's a strategist, because she can do everything. Her strategy is, if I do all the work, then there's nothing left to do. And it works sometimes. And when people realize that that's her kit and they use it correctly, boom, you have a demon. You have a demon right there. That's a demon. Like, you know what? Like, when you see a demon Susan, you know, like a Susan who will stop you from their, like diving the backline by herself. She ain't scared of no Iron Fist. You gonna need a magic and an Iron Fist and a Spider-Man to take her out. And that's how Susan really should be. Susan, like, if you think about it, canonically, Susan can deal with all of them. There's a reason why even in the non-canon Deadpool kills the Marvel verse, she literally pops Deadpool by, like, hollow purpling his head. Like, right as she doesn't beat him, but, like, it's like, she still cooks him. And it's like, yeah. They're all gone. Like, for real. Susan could just, like, she is also an anti-dive her damn self. And a lot of Susan players will forget that. And when you got a healer teammate who's willing to back you up, you both should be able to anti-dive the dive. And then you just go back to doing your due diligence. In fact, usually whenever there's a dive, what I do as Cloak and Dagger, my damn self, if I ever played, when I did play Cloak and Dagger, is I will tell my teammate, keyword tell them, and I will be like, hey bro, we need to duo real quick, like, and then I will heal with them, like we'll start patty caking, and I will not swap to Cloak. That's also an issue. People will swap to Cloak when they're in danger. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. You heal yourself if you're Dagger while doing damage. And if your second healer comes in close with the said DPSer, you can heal them too. So if they take damage, they're less likely to run away because they're getting healed by you as Dagger instead of watching Cloak. I'm sick and tired of people saying, I'm in danger, Cloak. Like, yes, that can be the answer sometimes. But I've literally, like, when I played Dagger as a meme, and I was lord farming as her, basically, because I wanted to show just how easy it was back then to get Lord as Dagger, because she's the easiest character. And I literally changed my name from Please Be My Waifu to, like, only Daggers. And yes, I was only Dagger. I literally was only Dagger. I played only Dagger. I played, like, I did use Cloak a little bit. Like, I would Cloak to dodge ults, I would Cloak to, do the window screen. But I never used Cloak as a form of an attack, unless it was to, like, we were winning and there was a Spider-Man or something that's trying to run. Then I will swap to Cloak. And even then, sometimes I'll stay as Dagger because she has way more range and she can still auto-aim. Yeah, it doesn't do as much damage as Cloak, but she can hit you from across the map. Like, you know what I mean? She can target lock on you and hit you across the map. Whether you're an enemy or a teammate, she can just do that. She can hit around corners. Like, I don't even know what the point of Cloak is sometimes, other than to swap to him for 2 seconds of utility. Like, no offense, but my fellow black guy here is not very useful, in my opinion. Yeah, he can be useful. Like again, dodging ults is not bad, and neither is his window screen. But I've never seen, like, a real reason to swap to Cloak and stay Cloak for any more than to do that, to just dodge an ult real quick, or to swap to Cloak to start my ult so that I can dodge the Magneto ult. That is it. That's the only reason I swapped to cloak, is to do the window screen and to possibly get ready to ult so that I can dodge the Magneto ult or to dodge a Jeff ult. For no other purpose do I swap to cloak. I don't swap to cloak to
Watch
do
out, they're
damage,
headed our way.
because you can do damage as dagger, and you should be doing damage as dagger. And you should not be cloak to do damage. In fact, if you're using R2 as cloak, you're probably bad cloak and dagger. You're probably one of those cloak and daggers that are terrible at the game. And you know it. And if you don't agree, you can definitely not agree. And guess what? Guess what? How much you want to bet that if you're not on cloak and dagger, I can out heal you? And yeah, I bet if you weren't cloak and dagger, if you're talking about right now, you were any other character, we can have a 1v1 healing off, and I bet I can out heal you. And keep my team actually alive. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to put money on it. Unless you're like way above me. Like if you're like, you know, like eternity rank or something, and you play other characters, like, hey, that you're not the same. I'm talking about those one-trick cloak and daggers. If you're a one-trick cloak and dagger, and you only play cloak, and you got like 500 hours on cloak and daggers, and no one else, and like, or like you barely got hours on anyone else, then yeah, I'm talking to you type of people. Like obviously, if you just play like a bunch of healers and just happen to play cloak and dagger, that's different. Because you're not the person I'm talking to. Because you can play other healers if necessary. But yeah, I just wanted to get that little vent out the way because I'm tired of people asking why Guang and them won't fix triple support and I'm tired of people trying to act like Cloak and Dagger is skilled and not knowing that the issues amongst Marvel Rivals is not Guang or Marvel Rivals really. It's the players that play it. It's always been the players. It's always will be the players. It's nothing that barely has to do with the game at this point. The issue is just people. That is always and will forever be the issue, and the 4 horsemen of Marvel Rivals as of right now. And like I said, if you play one of these 4 horsemen, you're probably a part of the issue. If you are playing Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl, Cloak and Dagger, or Rocket Raccoon, you are probably a part of the problem. You are probably a part of the problem and not the solution. That's what I'm gonna say. You are probably a part of the triple support problem, and you are probably not. And now and if you also can't really aim and are refusing to go to a better DPS, you're also part of the problem. It's not just the 4 horsemen. It's also like it could just be a skill issue, and that's also a thing. So, yeah. That's why triple support exists, and that's why it's an issue. Even though I've been able to counter it multiple times, and you can still counter it even with a dual support comp, and you don't need triple support just to win. It just depends on what healers you ban or don't ban. And usually, if you ban Cloak and Dagger Gambit, which is the healers that me and my friend ban all the time, and when we ban those two, yeah, you get like you usually guarantee to get a Loki, Deadpool, and or a Rocket, and or Susan even. It's usually like Susan Rocket for the most part, and my friend will go like dive because he can dive the raccoon.
Watch out, they're headed our way.
And if you go, and on other occasions when we have our full comp of team, we'll actually go Phoenix. We'll go Phoenix, a dive character. I'll get a Luna finally, and then I will be heal pool or something. And we'll just do that. And that's just enough to cook after we ban the dual comp of healers of Gambit and Cloak and Dagger, because you have a Phoenix to counter the support ult from Rocket. You have a diver to force their attention, and since Rocket can't heal, he literally can't. He can't. Like if he's getting dove, he can slow the rate of which someone dies, but he can't stop someone from dying. That's the cool thing about that. And the fact that a lot of people, when they get their Cloak and Dagger banned, will go to Rocket. And so when you full counter them with the early Phoenix and the dive character, they just have to sit there and take the D. And because I got a Luna, that means we actually have good healing instead of having a Susan. And then boom.
Watch out!
Then you
they're
actually
heading our
have
way.
the superbium levels of heal, and then you win the game. Or at least that's on console. PC, like, you know, it's a little different because, again, I don't play healer on PC, I play dive. So, yeah. And again, if you also main Luna Snow and you have 300 hours or you are Luna Snow main, I beg of you, please add me. Please, I'm GM level. I'm GM level. Please, I humbly request that you add me if you're on console. My name is Please Be Luna Snow. Please, I beg, because I wouldn't mind having a good healer instead of a Cloak and Dagger, or a Susan. You know, or a Rocket. I'm sick and tired of seeing those three. I'm sick and tired of seeing the double blonde healers. You know, these two blonde healers, or a Rocket whenever they don't want to go the blonde healers. Like I play heal pool a lot. I play Jeff a lot, and I also play Gambit. I would rather see Loki and Luna in 90% of my games than the blonde healers and Rocket. Yeah. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Sorry for the yap. Peace out.